Good morning. My name is Perrine Cambon-Vasquez, and I work at the European Commission in the DG in charge of defense industries and space. Today, I will run you through a set of slides presenting a tutorial on EDF co-financing declaration. Starting with the legal basis, the co-financing of EDF development action is an eligibility criteria announced in Article 21.1 of the EDF regulation, which is itself reflecting an obligation under the Union Financial Regulation in Article 191. So the consortium has the obligation to demonstrate that the proposed action is co-financed by another source. In the vast majority of cases, the co-financing comes from self-financing of one or several applicants or from one or several member states that are supporting the project. To fulfill this obligation of demonstration, the consortium must submit with its application one or several co-financing declarations. These declarations are provided by the coordinator on behalf of the consortium when he or she submits the application, but individually, each declaration is signed by each concerned co-financer. The co-financing declaration is an important piece of information in your application because as for other mandatory documents, failing to provide for such a declaration may lead to inadmissibility of your proposal. To better understand the evolution of the co-financing declaration template as of this year, so EDF 2025 round, I propose to look back on how the co-financing was implemented so far in EDF. So until this year, the co-financing declaration was to be provided via the Commission template or via a letter of intent that was signed by all the co-financers. Commission would then verify that the costs not covered by the grants were nonetheless covered by another source of financing. However, COM did not ask about the way that such a co-financing would take place, neither about its timing. At the same time, most of the declaration included a disclaimer indicating that the commitment taken under this declaration was not legally binding. This situation was leading to legal and financial insecurity, both for the Commission and for the consortium. To remedy this situation, the co-financing declaration template was updated, and I will in a minute explain in what way. But it was also made mandatory to use. So, as of this EDF round, no LOI on co-financing will now on be admitted. However, all the other LOIs for other eligibility criteria may continue to be used. If you want to find this new template, I invite you to go to the Funding and Tender portal under the Application Forms tab by using the link shown in the slide. So this slide is to explain in what way the co-financing declaration template has been updated this year. The new template has 3 new fields that should be filled in. First, it's the indicative date of availability of the co-financing. So this field is to choose a date to indicate at what time the co-financing will be available for the project. I say should because the date is indicative, as we understand that it is not possible to commit to a precise date at the stage of the submission. However, there should be an estimated date. There should be a planned period according to which the co-financing will materialize. The second field is the field where the co-financer can describe the process and the associated timeline. showing how the planned date of availability of the co-financing will be met. This information will be taken into account positively in the evaluation of award criteria 8 for the purpose of assessing the quality and efficiency of carrying out the action. It is taken into account positively. That means that it would only influence positively upgrading the score and would not lead to downgrading the score. This description, the information provided in this field, should specify the form of the co-financing. For example, if it's a procurement contract, a grant, or a loan. It should also describe, if applicable, any additional prior arrangements required, such as, for example, if the co-financer are member states, the conclusion of memorandum of understanding. Then the third new field is a place where the co-financer has the possibility to describe the expected arrangements related to IPR returns on project results. This is where the co-financer can express expectations with regard to access and user rights, for example, and we strongly recommend the co-financer to use this opportunity. I want now to recall that the rest of the co-financing declaration template remained untouched, and in particular, the fact that the status of the financial commitment can be evolutive between submission phase and grant agreement signature. In the field of the template called status, the co-financer has the possibility to select between two options, confirmed or to be confirmed. So, at submission stage, the co-financing declaration must be submitted. But the amounts indicated inside this declaration may still be uncertain for the co-financer. Therefore, the co-financer can decide to select the status option to be confirmed, and he will have the possibility to confirm the amounts at a later stage. In such a case, the confirmation must be submitted via the same co-financing declaration template as early as possible during the grant agreement preparation phase. So what are the effects of this confirmation? A confirmed declaration means that Commission expects that the funds are going to be made available in a timely manner to allow the proper implementation of the project, and that all steps are undertaken to that end. In case of delays or issues due to national budgetary procedures to provide for this co-financing, both the project coordinator and the granting authority should be immediately informed. Hence, this confirmation does not mean that the Memorandum of Understanding amongst the co-financing member states is signed, neither that the related procurement or grant or loan procedure framing the co-financing is finalized. Finally, as a reminder, please pay attention to the timing of the confirmation. If at gap stage, at the latest before signing the grant agreement, the co-financing declaration is not confirmed, the proposal entirely may be declared ineligible. As a conclusion, I want to stress out the added value of this new template of the co-financing declaration. First, providing the date of availability of the co-financing will constitute an incentive for the co-financer to better plan, and although this date will only be indicative. Secondly, providing detailed co-financing process and timeline, as well as IPR expectations, will constitute added value for different types of stakeholders. For the member states, when they are co-financing, it will constitute an incentive to early start planning and preparing the co-financing frameworks and contracts in coordination with the applicants. For the proposal evaluators, this new template will constitute further information for the evaluation of the award criteria 8. And for applicants, they will benefit from an increased transparency about the co-financing plan and the co-financer IPR expectations, and more information to decide to apply or not.